heavy elephant comes by and steps on a sulcata tortoise? What happens if I step on it?
It'll splat. No.
Nothing. What happens if an elephant steps on it? Squish. And he turns into a pancake tortoise. So what he has to do, okay, is he needs to look with his eyes right on the front of his head. He's got ears on the side so he can listen for the animals. But most of all, his belly almost always touches the ground. So when those big animals come stomping through, it shakes the ground and he can feel the vibrations on his belly. He knows he's got to get out of there. All right. Plus, if you have a whole herd of elephants, if you have 20 elephants, it's going to feel like an earthquake on his belly. He knows way ahead of time he's got to get out of there. All right, gives him a head start. All right, guys. Now, where does Titan go when he gets scared? Where does he go?
In his shell.
In his shell, like other turtles? Well, let's see. Can his head fit in? Come here for a minute. Oh.
Yes.
Can his head go in? Yep.
Yeah. Whoa.
His back legs? Yep. But Titan has those big beefy arms. And there's no room in his shell for those arms. So instead of putting them inside, he puts them up in front of his face like a boxer. And those big spikes on his arms protect him like armor. Stop eating for a minute, please. Okay? So when he goes in, the arms go right up in front of his face. And if there's an animal like a lion, if there's a lion, the lion's trying to come over and scratch and scratch and scratch. They can't get by those big beefy arms with the spikes, and they'll leave him alone. All right, so
Yeah, that was lettuce.
he's got, come here, a nice big football helmet on top. He's got those big beefy arms in the front. Underneath, he's got a nice wood floor. All right. Even in the back. Even in the back. You guys see that flat piece of shell? Do you guys know what the scientific term for that is? That's the butt flap. That's how he protects his butt. So, he is protected up on top, underneath, in the front, in the back. He is like a tank. Nothing can get in there to hurt him.
The tank turner.
All right. All right, guys. Couple more things to answer your questions. Okay, hands down. All right. Now, besides using those arms to protect himself, he also used those arms for something else. He uses them to fight. Now, who is Titan going to fight?
He's going to fight me. A snake.
No, not a snake.
Other turtles?
Other tortoises. Very good. All right. When there is, all right, guys, I got to do the G-rated version of this. When there is a really pretty lady tortoise, and all the boy tortoises want to go on a date with her, what they do is they go and they fight over her. And they use those big beefy arms to punch each other. Now, when I first started working at Snakes and Scales and I heard that story, I thought it was hilarious. Two turtles punching each other, that's funny. I don't know. Okay? But I did some research, and I found that was actually true. So, guys, take a look. He's a really slow guy. He eats really slow. He walks really slow. He even sleeps really slow. So how fast is he going to fight? Really slow. And I'll show you just how they do it. All right? They go head to head with each other. They go right in front of each other. And they take their big beefy arms. And they go... And they go back and forth like that. So again, like I said, I didn't think that was true. So I did some research, and I found somebody who was researching them in Africa, and they recorded one of these fights lasting 3 days. tortoise who can outlast the other one. If one of them gets beat up too bad, he's got to go. He's got to go get something to eat or something to drink. If he leaves, he loses. And the one who can stick it out and fight for the lady tortoise gets to go on the date with her. And I did this show a couple weeks ago, and a little girl said, well, what happens if after 3 days, the lady tortoise doesn't want to go on a date with the guy tortoise? And I told her I've been there. It's not always fun, okay? All right. All right, guys, one more thing, and I'll answer your questions. Can you see these bumps he has on his shell?
Yeah.
Well, when we got Tyke, he was a lot smaller than he is now, and those bumps were a lot higher on his shell. The person who had him as a pet didn't know how to take care of tortoises, and they fed Titan cat food. All right, guys, I have to ask you a very important question now. All right, everybody take a look at him. Okay, here we go. Does he look like a cat? No. Should you feed a tortoise cat food? No. Cats are carnivores. They eat meat. Okay? Titan here is an herbivore. He's a vegetarian. All he needs is fruits and vegetables. So because he was getting bad food in the cat food, he started getting bumps in his shell. And those bumps are called pyramiding. They look like the pyramids in Egypt. So when we got him, we put him in a nice big tortoise playpen with lots of tortoise buddies, and we give him all good food to eat. All right, we give him lettuce and cabbage and carrots and apples and bananas and strawberries and broccoli. All good food. And now those bumps, you can see, they didn't go down, but as he grew and his shell grew, the bumps stayed the same size, and you can hardly see them now. Okay, there's still little bumps on there, but as he keeps growing, the bumps will stay that size, and the shell will grow around it, and you'll hardly be able to see them. All right? Now, do you guys have any questions for Titan? Yeah. No, I'm not going to try it either. Chomper's staying in the box. He cannot bite through his shell. Yeah. Can he shed his shell?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Turtle shells are bones. Can we shed our bones? No, we look like big jellyfish. Okay? He was born with that shell. When he was born, he was only about this big. He had a shell that big. And as he grew, his bone grew with him. And that's what he looks like now. So he's not going to take that shell off. Yes?
On a scale from 1 to 10, do you think he could win versus another tortoise?
The tortoises we have, he's the biggest one we have. So he's going to be the winner.
He's going to eat all that lettuce.
No, he's definitely not invertebrate. Well, an invertebrate is something that doesn't have a backbone. He is definitely an invertebrate. You have a question? What's up? Because he was a very, very silly man. Yeah. One more. What do you got right here? I don't know. Come on, what do you got? What year was he born? Well, we're guessing he's about 30 years old. All right, around that age. And these guys can live for about 65 to 70 years. All right? About 30. All right, guys. I have 2 more animals that are my 2 biggest animals I saved for you guys, all right? So everybody say bye, Titan.
Give him the food, he's still hungry. Give him his lettuce!
Alright guys, real quick, before I bring this next animal out, okay? He has what I call, he has lizard ADD, okay? he has attention deficit disorder. Okay? He gets distracted very easily. All right? Now, he's very big, and he's got very sharp claws. So I have to put him on the ground, but I have a leash for him. Little harness that came, okay? But you guys absolutely need, and this is a serious face going on, you guys absolutely need to stay seated and stay behind that blue line. Okay, because like I said, he's going to be on the ground walking around. You guys need to stay seated so you don't distract him. And everybody has to stay nice and quiet. Okay? You have to stay nice and quiet with him. Alright, guys. Alright. This is Monty. And Monty is an Asian water monitor. And guys, remember, you have to stay nice and quiet. He's trying to go behind the thing so he can't see you guys. He's very, very scared right now. Alright? Now, do you guys know what a Komodo dragon is?
Yeah.
This is the Komodo dragon's closest cousin. Okay, this is the second largest lizard in the world. Not Monty personally, but this species. Okay? And they live, there we go. They live in the jungles in Southeast Asia. Alright? Now, because he's a water monitor, he spends most of his time as an adult in the water. Okay? But when they are born, when they hatch, there are lots of animals that want to eat them. So he has to go where it's safest for him. He goes up in the trees. And you can see he's got very, very sharp claws. And he uses, in fact, all the scars I have in my body are from Monty here. Okay? He uses those sharp claws to climb up into the trees. Also, you can see his color. It's kind of dull black and yellow. When they're babies, they have very bright colors. That way, when they're in the trees, they can blend in with the leaves and the flowers and the fruit up there. That way, the animals that want to eat them can't find them. Okay? Now, once they grow up and they are very big lizards, they can't live in the trees. They have to come down and live in the water. They live by the water, in the water, near the water. Okay? And most of his food comes from the water. Well, you can see, well, real quick, this is an animal that can hunt, but where most of its food comes from is from dead animals. Now, guys, take a look. Can you see his big tongue? You guys know why he sticks his tongue out like that? Oh, right there. What kind of scent? We have 5 of them. He smells with his tongue. All right, can you guys smell with your tongues? All right, go to the doctor. That's not good. All right. All right, guys, do me a favor. Everybody take a big deep breath through your nose. Right, now, when we breathe into our nose, we pick up all little tiny particles in the air. And they go in your nose and it tells your brain what you smell. So if you guys are over there by the food, you take a big deep breath, you're going to smell all the cakes and all the good stuff over there. The extra bacon I was hearing about. Okay. All right, guys, do me another favor. Everybody hold on to your nose like this. It's for the kids. Parents don't have to do it. All right, now everybody stick your tongue out. Now put it back in. Besides that guy over there, do you guys smell anything? No, you don't.
I smell air.
Well,